A lot of breaking news this Tuesday morning. Georgia picks up a commit out of Alabama, Jackson Meeks, from a school that is well known for putting out wide receivers at Phoenix City High School.
One that we've been watching for some time, just over 2 weeks since he picked up the offer. And, that came on the heels of a great performance against national powerhouse Hoover. I know everybody knows those guys over just outside of Birmingham. Put up like 13 catches, 230 plus yards. Actually had a little bit more than that, but that last touchdown got called back on him. So I think he went for like 4 and like almost 300.
Knowing he only had one receiver left that you could take, and the fact that we took this guy, I got to believe that there's got to be a real good reason for that.
This looks like a kid to me who could really have benefited from the spring and summer camp circuit. I think that it would have really helped Jackson Meeks out a lot, because his season last year got cut short with an ACL injury. So not a lot of film on him, despite having played next to a tremendous receiver in EJ Williams last year, who ended up at Clemson. But you're talking about 6'2", 205 pounds, looks to have really solid hands, a kid who can get out there and power for position. And, I think I saw through 3 games, he's almost at 500 yards on the season.
What I can tell you is that Dale McGee's name in Columbus, Phoenix City, that area, holds so much weight. And I know Cortez Hankton is involved in this recruiting. I've seen Trey Scott maybe in it as well. When you say Coach McGee in Columbus, it's over with.
JT Daniels' story. You're the one that broke that he was coming to Georgia. You were right there on the Dwan Mathis thing when he flipped from Ohio State. Both are coming off injuries. One has an ACL, one had a brain surgery. What's your take on how this thing plays out?
I took to Twitter as soon as it went down, and I told you where my money was. I'm betting on Dwan. I think that,
ballsy.
I know, but listen, I just feel good about that pick. He's 6'6". He's got a rocket arm. Like Coach said, I think that the accuracy.
6'6".
He's 6'6". Yeah, that's what he's listed as.
Man, oh man.
Is that in the UGA?
That is UGA. Guide? That is UGA's guide. So.
Okay.
We'll take it with a grain of salt, of course, but
he's a program guide, 6'6". Okay.
No, I'll tell you this. I think Dwan is a guy who just adds another level to your offense. I think that he's a guy that makes this transition a little easier. In my mind, he's probably a better replication of what you had in Jamie Newman. I think that you're talking about a bigger, more mobile quarterback than you were with JT.
When the Newman announcement came out, I thought it was devastating for Georgia. I think he was that kind of talent. I think that he's going to be an NFL quarterback. I thought the world of the film that I saw from him. He was one of the best quarterbacks in college football last year with a supporting cast that was not one of the best supporting casts in college football. That said, the reason it might not be devastating for Georgia is that Kirby Smart has really put Georgia in a position that if one player leaves, it doesn't completely cave in the roster. The fact that you have a JT Daniels and a Dwan Mathis ready to compete for that spot, it makes a devastating position more palatable.
JT Daniels came out as a 5-star, was a heralded recruit, a guy who has, just kind of been the man forever. And not to say Dwan wasn't in high school. I mean, he was a top 100 player, but he's a kid who has dealt with Justin Fields transferring to Ohio State. Didn't see that coming, so he flips to Georgia. Then he gets to Georgia, brain cyst. Okay, well, now I've got to come back from that. I'm healthy enough to come back from that, and what do? Bring in a grad transfer and a former 5-star transfer from USC. So the guy has not had an easy road when it comes to his collegiate career. I think that just makes him all the hungrier. I think that makes him ready for this opportunity. And, the people I've spoken to around him seem to think that he's ready to seize it.
I like the moxie Dwan Mathis has to come and fight for the job. I think that you can't coach speed and you can't coach that desire.
I don't see JT Daniels as being a savior for Georgia in this sense, based on the film that he has now.
How much as a coach, how much, I guess, do you factor in the scrimmages versus what happens in practice? How important is that? How do you balance those two things out?
I would say 11 on 11 is the biggest factor, because that's the way you play the game. Certainly the way you do drills, the way you handle your assignments in the practice areas, but the scrimmages play a lot in making that decision.
It's never enough for Kirby Smart.
And above all, there's no greater reward than team victory. So you got to win the damn game.